Y'all know y'all can't teach what the fuck y'all want to teach, and the few teachers that did try to keep it real, I bet they ass wasn't at your school that much longer. Fuck out of here, nigga. We don't highlight that when we should, though. We want to focus on the drugs and the murder. What about the murdering of the minds? At least the murderer go to jail if he get caught for murdering a motherfucker in the street. These teachers get paid to murder your motherfucking mind. These principals get paid to murder our motherfucking minds and our souls. We be really believing that shit. Really thinking the earth is round? Nigga? I don't think y'all hear me though. We need to be posted up outside of every school. Nigga, y'all worse than 12. We ain't just gonna be smoking dead cops, we gonna be smoking dead teachers, professors, nigga. Y'all better fall back off them jobs, nigga. Type of job is that? Out here getting paid to murder motherfucking minds and never go to jail for it, nigga. And you got the nerve to be out there striking. Should strike y'all ass across y'all shit for telling all them lies. You be seeing them, teachers union, they striking because they ain't getting paid enough. You don't need to get paid shit, you lying. On a strike some shit, we need to go clean across y'all shit. That's the only strike that need to get done around this motherfucker. Facts. In here teaching motherfuckers all about shapes that don't even exist and shit. Why y'all ain't teach us the real shapes? Supreme geometry. Fuck that algebra. Fuck 1 + 1, nigga. That ain't supreme mathematics. Them symbols that we gave y'all ass. We dumbed it down for y'all. We gave y'all the Roman numeral, motherfucker. We didn't need them. This shit is in our amino acids, nigga. In the abyss of our soul. We speak through numbers. We don't need to write shit down. We gave them to the oppressors because they was the watered down version of us. So once again, how you know 2 + 2 is 4? Who taught you that? How you know 10 times 10 100? Is it really 100? Can we even trust the numerical scale? Or is that gonna make you think too deep? Why should we trust anything they ever taught us? We done caught them in more than enough lies. Or are you that scared to question everything? How do you know 1 + 1 is 2? Yet you have based your whole life around these numbers, these Roman numerals as they are called. Let's not forget what they call them. And let's not forget who the Romans were. Nigga.
Wonder why black people haven't caught up yet despite slavery ending over 150 years ago. They're wrong. It ended 80 years ago. When was the last slave freed in America? It wasn't after the Civil War, it was during World War II in September 1942. Our current president, Joe Biden, was born 2 months later. Until he graduated from college, black people had to drink out of a separate water fountain. Segregation didn't end until the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Jim Crow ended with the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which allowed black people to vote again. But just a few years after that, Nixon came along with his war on drugs, which disenfranchised and imprisoned even more black people on purpose.
The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and the blacks with heroin, then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did.
There's a reason why detoxification is so important for your body and for your mind. It's because, plain and simply, there is no immune system. It's just a lymphatic system. The lymphatic system that cleanses your body of all toxicity. So your cells are just like, well, they're basically you. They're made up of you. You have 150 trillion cells. 50 trillion of them are human. The other 100 trillion of them are from the Creator. They focus on your autonomic nervous system. A and S, autonomic nervous system. The functions of your organs that are on autopilot. But I'll keep it really, really simple. Whenever your cells eat, because whenever you eat, your cells eat, they have to excrete waste somewhere. In your bloodstream, somewhere. Throughout your body, it has to go somewhere. They poop and pee just like you poop and pee. But the issue is that if your lymphatic system is blocked, they don't have anywhere to excrete their waste. Therefore, it goes into your bloodstream, which makes you sick. There's only one way for you to get sick. There's no viruses that come from outside the body that are actually called viruses. Viruses are caused within your body that actually heal your body. They heal your system. So all this pandemic crap and all this stuff that they've been making up, that stuff comes from outside your body. That was made up. It's not made by you. It's not made from you.
Personal response. Black people need to stop complaining about systemic racism and take some personal responsibility. Everyone is equal under the law now. They may be policed more, but that's only because they commit a disproportionate amount of the crime. Why? Well, I'm not saying that black people are naturally more likely to be criminals or anything. I just think it's a part of their culture. Why? Well, probably because their dads weren't around to raise them properly. Why? I don't know, probably because they were too poor to afford a kid, so they left. Why? Well, they probably can't get a good job because they never went to college. Why? Well, I guess it is probably because they couldn't afford it, but they didn't get good enough grades to get a scholarship either. Why? Well, I guess that is probably because their school is underfunded. Why? Because school funding is determined by property taxes and they were born into poor areas. Why? Because their family hasn't been able to build enough wealth to move out. Why? Because the first black people who were born with equal rights under the law are less than 60 years old. Black people need...
He's inadequate, and he doesn't serve a purpose because he can't do what you need him to do to make you feel better about yourself.
What's the purpose? What's the point?
What's the point? And that's why we have these incredible rises in suicide. Yeah. I personally think it's why we have this, and I don't know the figures, I don't know what they are now, but the increase between, I think it was 2017 and 2021, a 30-something% increase in the number of black men with prostate cancer, starting early. And why? Because their manhood is under attack.
Right.
And, you know, their psyche is not nourishing and nurturing them, and their masculinity. Because where in the world do we see them lifted, honored? I don't want to say respected. And here's what I hear in the back of my mind. So let me just go ahead and deal with it. Black women saying, well, look what they do. And look how they are. And look what they do. You know. And we unwittingly participate in the emasculation, the dehumanization, the devaluation, and the disheartening of black men because they didn't do it the way we wanted them to do it. Mothers, wives, girlfriends, sisters.
How the hell is it that today people can say pretty much anything that they want to say to a degree, but the higher up you go in class, since you brought classism up, the less people speak the truth. The more money they get, the less they'll speak the truth, because 9 times out of 10 they get it through sports, they get it through some type of field or endeavor when it comes to how this system works. They speak less truth, they have more money. So now they have this class circumstance going on. Racism is never going to be inseparable. You can be a billionaire, let racism hit you. Kanye West, for example, it don't matter. You will get hit. That still has power. And of course, the sexism plays a role because now there is still a dominant of men, but now there are certain men trying to put women in a certain position to be dominant as a front to make it seem as though they care about women and women's rights and all of that. And there's a whole layer cake of where we're going in when it comes to this. But as a part of all of that, classism, racism, and sexism, psychiatry and those who control the minds will always have the superior control. That's my point. It don't matter where you go in any of these areas, these layers, these endeavors, any one of these people can be taken off to a mental facility with simply a nod from a psychiatrist. Any one of these people can be declared crazy, have their money removed, their family removed, their entire career destroyed. Any one of these people can be put permanently in that area. Oh, that's her. Oh, he one of those. Simply by being declared mentally unstable, schizophrenic, depressive, all of these things, brother, because of labels that were manufactured and manipulated by a group of people who are not even qualified to tie their own damn shoes. And I'm talking to the American Psychiatric Association. You talking about some of the most wicked, evil, insane people on the planet who are controlling the mindsets of everybody else on the planet.
The Tower of Babel story is symbolic of them cutting down our ancient trees. Once they cut the trees down, we used to let our locks grow real long. And our locks was connected to these trees, these energy pyramids, these energy towers. So once they cut our ancient trees down, then we lost our ancient connection with our planet. That was the first thing they did to us. I keep telling y'all, every mountaintop is a motherfucking tree stump, my nigga. There's no such thing as a mountain. Those are ancient trees that were cut down. And they are hiding the truth from you in plain sight. Because if they let you know that ain't no mountain, that's really a tree stump, you like, oh shit, that was a big ass tree. Now they got to answer this for you. Why the fuck was the tree so big? Now that's going to lead into where you was on a higher frequency and y'all were bigger. Now we back to that story of these giants that walked the earth again. And you can Google that. They stay digging up bones of us 30, 40, 50 feet. I keep telling y'all, ain't no such thing as no motherfucking dinosaurs. They didn't even mention them in their Bible. I don't see a documentary, not a chapter in their Bible. How the fuck you forget to mention them? Because they never existed. You know what the dinosaur bones come from? Your bones. Those are the bones of how big we were. And then they go make a fake ass alligator head and put it on them big ass bones and put that shit up in a museum and name the dinosaurs and made all these fancy names. Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Fuck out of here. Them our bones in that bitch, nigga. Go in any museum and ask to touch the dinosaur bones. They're gonna be plastered bones. They're not real. Then ask them where the real bones at. Right. Under the Vatican with everything else. You show them folks the real bones. Show my people the real bones. Human bones. Yeah, that mean human bones that big.
They're grown from human DNA, mixed with DNA of the natives.
Marine in an avatar body.
Did giants really ever roam our planet? Besides the hundreds of newspapers published on skeletal remains of giants, it's pretty weird that literally every single ancient civilization has stories of giants in it. Just to get a good look, here's a list of some of them, and some of the ancient texts. What's weird is that in the 18 and 1900s, mainstream archaeology was much more open to sharing evidence on this. Like I said before, even the New York Times published several newspapers on them. In Mexico, they found an 8-foot-tall giant, and in the US, they found one that was 12 feet. Here's some of the places they found them just in the US, and here's some of their sizes. Then out of nowhere, all the evidence they had been gathering suddenly began disappearing. The weird thing was that all the giant human skeletons were always sent to the Smithsonian for further study. They even went out of their way to purchase the San Diego giant for $15,000. But have you seen any of them in their museum? No.
We are those fossils. You never heard them even in their Bible, in their man-made Bible. They didn't write about the dinosaurs, did they? No, they did not. You never heard them talk about dinosaurs, did you? Because they never existed. Those are bones, our bones. And they can't tell you that that was you and that you were bigger because the planet was higher in frequency.
Secret. And I asked him, what secret is he talking about? He said, yes, America is Egypt. He was like, that's what the Seminole War was about, the Louisiana Purchase was about. And he was like, look up this map. It's called Tamari. And he said, y'all, it's Tamarikans. So I went to look up at the map, right? And I was amazed he was right. He was like, that's y'all true nationality. And he was like, when the Seminole War broke out, That's when they won and they took over America and started calling them Americans, and they spelt it different. And the Bible is based upon y'all. All pastors know this, Freemasonry know this, everybody know this.
Pyramid on the Nile in Northeast Africa doesn't have stair steps going up it. It doesn't have temples on top of its summits. They could not go and break through the boat on the temples atop those great pyramids. There are none there. And that was the clue that Egypt was writing about the Americas. And the deeper I got into the records, the clearer it got. They started actually saying, and because Amun loved that land so much, he said it's his beloved land, and that word was Mary, the beloved. Mary, M-E-R-I, Mary. And the land, of course, as before, is Ta, the beloved land, Ta Mary. And they kept that name and just put the Ta on the end of it, so Ta Mary became a Mary Ta. We simply say America. We kept the name that Egypt gave to the Americas. So that was the big mystery behind that $10 million map that Martin Waldseemüller made and then put the name America on it in 1507. And then those who knew and those who were trying to hide things said, wait a minute, you can't put that name on here. And the next time he reprinted that map, it was off. It was gone. Because that's the name that Egypt had given the land.
Now you know your name.
What's up, everybody? Back again with another fact for y'all. So, in case y'all didn't know, this right here, just a drop of water, and the shapes that you see being made are done strictly by sound. Any liquid that you trap in an acoustic field, which is basically just a field of sound, a sound wave, you can manipulate it by changing the frequency of the sound wave. So, yep, just so you know. And it's levitating. You're also able to levitate water droplets and other liquids.
People don't seem to understand that you're 200 and something years into an ecosystem that's been curated and designed for slavery. So when you understand that, you begin to ask yourself, why does it take 10 years, 12 years in order for me to buy a house? Cash. That sounds kind of slavish. When a couple years ago, I would have to work 2-3 years. And before that, it would take a couple months. What the fuck is a 30-year mortgage? Yeah. Now they're trying to come up with 50-year mortgages. If you're in year 176 of slavery and all you know is that you're going to work and in return you're going to get a paycheck, then that's the default mindset that you're going to hold. No labor is going to be put forth unless you're able to see a reward. And most people can't see a reward in front of their, like if it's right here, if they don't see the dollar sign right here, they're not going to do it. They're risk adverse. They don't understand that they have truly nothing to lose, but they're not willing to take any risk. So I think the big discrepancy as to why individuals aren't willing to take the risk or why individuals are in a situation where they have this kind of potentially slave mindset, to me has to do with nurture, how they grow up, the school system, how they're educated, and overall I think is a cultural experience of hundreds and hundreds of years of systemized cheating that's been done on people to extort them for their time, their energy, and their effort. If you look at how the fiat system was created, it wasn't created to empower people, it was created to steal from people. So if you begin to realize that this is kind of like a slavery model that's imposed on everybody, if you can kind of shake away from it, or at least observe it from a third-party perspective, it may be beneficial.
It's coming out, all of these, because black folks, black people were around during the classical era. Yeah. And the violin has African history to it. Perfect. The banjo is an African instrument. The banjo that hillbillies play, right, is African. The fiddle, the fiddle is African. It's all African based, and you got these hillbillies going, "Get out of here, you niggers!" I'm like, "Excuse me, can we have our instrument back?" Wow.
Play your wash.
I mean, the swastika is a symbol for elements of the elements. Yeah,
the Dinka sound.
Yeah, it's for the Native American. It's the swastika. Yes. White folks are always culturally appropriating things, even in their hatred. Use your own. Use the little Irishmen from the Fighting Irish or something. Why are you using brown people's symbols to press your fucking hatred on us? You're using the swastika, and swastika is a Hindi word. Yeah.
And Louis Vuitton, the symbol from Louis Vuitton is an African.
Yeah, they say all the design out there from Gucci.
Gucci.
Everything is from Africa.
Africa. Yeah. And they go around here looking at us like we crazy.
Then you can't buy it. They don't want to sell it to you.
And Lacoste, you know the Lacoste alligator? Yeah. It's a black French tennis player. because the alligator is a symbol of how tough he was.
Right.
Lacoste is a black French player from the in the 1950s. Lacoste.
I love you guys. I hope the world loves you too. Man.
Hey, who knows?
Because
This is the juice that healed me. I created it myself, the concoction of it, and I healed myself of all the diseases I was suffering from. So I want you to do 7 green apples. And you're going to do this daily. The apples is going to strengthen the cells and get all the toxins out of the cells. You're going to do 1 stalk of celery. It should have at least 6 to 7 limbs on it with the leaves. The celery sticks is going to give you all of the bile salts that you need. It's full of natural sodium. Pinch of cilantro. What cilantro is going to do is remove all of those different metals from the cell. You're going to use a handful of parsley. The parsley leaf is going to open up the actual tubules, and it's going to open up the nephrons of the kidneys where you can filtrate out a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper to help blood flow. You're going to use a thumb of ginger. Skin the actual ginger and put the ginger in the juicer as well. 2 cucumbers without the skin. That's going to help you hydrate more. And then a whole lemon. If you do this every day, you should produce at least 45 ounces. You're going to drink that every single day.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You've got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs. That's what the Panthers are doing. That's what the Panthers are doing all over the world.
What you want to do? I ain't going to give you my name or nothing. You could take me to jail. What's the problem?
I want to do that, dude.
I ain't got to give you my name then.
Okay.
You do. No, I don't. What I do wrong? What crime I committed?
He told you. The dog's not licensed.
Dog's not licensed? What's the probable cause? What's the justification?
Dude, chill out.
Nah. Ain't no chilling out. You can keep it moving. You going to take me to jail. That's it.
We don't need to go there.
Nah, we gonna go there.
It doesn't need to escalate to this level.
Nah. It is gonna escalate. I already know the routine. What's up? What's the problem? I didn't catch you on camera lying. I'm gonna catch you on camera lying now.
If you know the routine, then you give us your ID.
Nah, I ain't gotta give you my ID because you ain't got no probable cause.
She told you this.
Nah, it ain't no probable cause.
It's a Muni Code violation.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, you think you know the law better?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, go ahead. What you want? You want to take me down San Mateo? Nah, you gonna have to. It don't matter. They don't what they gonna hold me for a cowboy and let me go? What you gonna charge me with PC 148? Go ahead. Pictures motion. I'm gonna file that on both of you. Go ahead. You think I wish that I was born yesterday?
Dude, it doesn't need to go to.
Yeah, we gonna take it there because you ain't gonna get nowhere anyway. You wanna waste taxpayers' dollars? All right, let's do it.